The mist parts, revealing a lonely figure standing before the ancient stones. We don't see the face, only the outline against the rising storm. The camera lingers on the trembling hand, reaching, almost afraid, yet unable to resist the pull. A faint whisper of Claire's voice drifts across the screen, carried by the wind. "Jamie?" The ground seems to shift. The stones vibrate as if they carry centuries of secrets. A sudden flash of light cuts through the storm. For a heartbeat, we see fragments from the past fleeting images of love and pain. Claire's tearful eyes. Jamie's silhouette on the battlefield. The sound of a gunshot echoing in the distance. A horse galloping through the fog. A cry of a child. The whispers grow louder. Different voices overlap, pleading, warning, confessing. "Do you trust me?" Always. The future waits for no one. Their words rise and fall like waves, leaving the audience unsure if they are real or just memories. Then silence. The screen turns black again. But the faint hum of the stones continues, echoing into the dark. The camera cuts to a close-up shot, water dripping slowly on stone. Drop after drop, like time itself ticking away. A shadow passes across the frame, and the hum deepens. Finally, the voice returns calm, steady, and filled with weight. Through centuries of war, betrayal, and loss, one bond has endured. The violin swells. A single candle flame flickers to life in the darkness, lighting just enough to show a letter being held in trembling hands. The words are unreadable, but the ink is smeared with tears. The flame flickers out. The screen fades to black once more, leaving only the echo of the storm and the heartbeat of the stones. Asterisk, the darkness breaks into fragments, as though the screen itself has cracked. Each shard reveals a memory familiar, yet slipping away like water through fingers. Claire's face appears in one shard, her eyes wide with fear, then in another. Jamie's hand gripping his sword, blood staining the earth. But these are not steady images. They flicker, distort, and overlap, as though time itself is refusing to stay still. The sound of a heartbeat begins, slow at first, then faster. With every beat, the past bleeds into the present, through centuries of war, betrayal, and loss. One bond has endured. The voice repeats, this time layered with echoes, male and female. Past and present colliding into one. We see Claire again, but not as we remember her. Her face is half-shadowed, her expression unreadable. She whispers words we cannot fully hear, her voice breaking apart, swallowed by the sound of thunder. A glimpse of Jamie follows, not a warrior, but a man looking at her with a love that defies reason. Standing in a world determined to pull them apart, the violin rises softly. But underneath it, a new sound creeps in the ticking of a clock. At first faint, then louder. The clock is out of place, modern, metallic, clashing against the soft candlelight of the 18th century. It ticks faster and faster, reminding us that their love is not only tested by war, but by time itself. The memories twist again. We see quick flashes Claire screaming Jamie's name across a battlefield. Jamie holding her hand against his chest, blood seeping through his shirt. Then another flicker, a child's hand slipping out of view. A door closing, a cry cut short. The screen shakes with the force of the storm. The clock suddenly stops. Silence crashes down, and then her voice, steady, desperate, filled with love that refuses to die. No matter where I go, I will always find you. The screen fades into the image of two hands reaching for each other across blinding light so close, yet never touching. The glow of the stones returns, their hum louder, as though time itself is warning them both. The music holds on one single, aching note. The screen fades to black dot asterisk. The storm does not fade. It grows louder, tearing through silence like a warning. From the blackness, we hear a voice sharp, broken. Heavy with fear, they'll never let us live in peace. The words hang in the air, then vanish into chaos. Suddenly, the screen shatters into flashes, a line of soldiers marching with torches, their shadows stretching across the night. A musket fires. The sound echoes like thunder. A man falls to the ground. Unseen hands dragging him into the darkness. The music changes, no longer a slow violin, but a pounding rhythm, drums that mimic the beating of war. The camera tilts upward to reveal a burning settlement, smoke curling into the sky, children crying out for their parents. The flames lick the screen, turning it red. Over this chaos, another voice rises, fierce, unyielding. Then we fight. The screen cuts to Jamie, his silhouette framed in firelight. His sword catches the glow, his face unreadable, but his stance unshaken. Behind him, shadows gather, not just soldiers, but neighbors, allies, and strangers who look to him for strength. Claire's figure appears next. Not a battlefield warrior, but standing alone in the storm, her face streaked with tears and defiance. She whispers something we cannot hear, but the wind carries her words like a vow. The pace quickens. Shots flicker across the screen, a secret letter being opened in candlelight, the ink smeared in haste. A man's hand slipping poison into a glass. A door slamming shut with violent force. The glint of a knife raised in betrayal. The whispers return, layered, overlapping, suffocating. Trust no one. The crown will never forgive. Blood must be paid with paid. With the camera plunges back into the storm. We see Jamie's blade clash against another, sparks flying in the darkness. The screen flashes to black, then reopens to Claire running through the forest, branches tearing at her, her breath ragged. A scream rings out behind her, but she does not turn back. The storm peaks. The music crashes into silence, and in that silence, one voice rises calm, chilling, and final. This time, there is no safe place. The screen fades to black. Only the sound of marching remains, growing louder and louder, as though war itself is approaching the audience. Asterisk, the screen flickers, as though the film itself is tearing apart. For a split second, we glimpse something that doesn't belong. A street lamp glowing in the mist. The faint sound of a car horn echoing across the highlands. Then it vanishes. A voice, almost a whisper, cuts through the static. The future waits for no one. The stones hum louder now, their glow bleeding into the darkness. The camera pulls closer, and within the cracks of the ancient rock, something strange shimmers, metal, smooth and cold, like it doesn't belong in this world. The storm twists around it, almost trying to hide it. We see fleeting glimpses of strangers' faces we don't recognize. One wears the clothes of another century, eyes wide as if they've just arrived. Another figure hides in shadow, watching from the edge of the firelight. We never see their faces fully, only the glint of their eyes. A letter burns in someone's hand. The ink dissolves into flame, but one line lingers before it turns to ash. They know. The camera jerks away. And suddenly we hear the ticking again, the modern clock. Out of place, loud, demanding attention. Claire's voice breaks through the noise, shaking with fear. Jamie. The past may yet destroy us. The screen splinters into rapid flashes. A modern wristwatch dropped into muddy 18th century soil. A hospital bed in a room lit by candlelight. A voice recorder crackling with static, lying next to a musket. Someone's hand reaching into the stones and pulling back something. Impossible, a silver key that does not belong. The whispers return. Layered over the ticking, it's already begun. They will find you. History cannot be rewritten. The storm roars one last time, to hum of the stones now deafening. A figure steps into the light, but before we see their face, The screen cuts to black. A single phrase lingers in the silence, cold and haunting. The end is already written. The music holds, trembling with tension, as if daring the audience to breathe. The storm erupts. The screen fills with fire and steel-clashing swords, smoke curling from muskets, horses screaming in the night. The music crashes into a full orchestral swell. Violins and drums locked in battle. But within the chaos, we hear a single voice. Claire's whisper, soft but desperate. Promise me. No matter what comes. The images spin faster, each one sharper than the last. Jamie in the middle of battle, his blade sparking against another's, his face streaked with blood and fury. Claire running through rain-soaked fields, clutching something close to her chest. A man falling from a horse, the sound of his body striking the ground, drowned by thunder. A secret door thrown open, revealing someone we should not see. The whispers overlap, rising, each one like a knife in the dark. They know your name. The crown will not forgive you. History demands a sacrifice. The music builds higher, almost unbearable, then cuts suddenly to silence. In that silence, we see Jamie and Claire alone, faces inches apart, their eyes locked. The world burns behind them, but for a moment, nothing else exists. Their breath mingles, and her voice breaks. Find me. The screen fractures into chaos again. Rapid flashes, faster and faster, a child's hand slipping away. A man's scream cut short. A candle falling, the flame dying. The stones glowing like fire, shaking as if the earth itself cannot hold them. The storm rages. The music pounding like a heartbeat on the edge of breaking. And then one final image, Jamie dropping to his knees, clutching something in his hands. His cry swallowed by the storm, the screen explodes into black. The only sound that remains is the echo of a heartbeat slow, heavy, impossible to ignore. Asterisk, the chaos cuts away. Silence, the screen is completely black, no fire. Number storm, no voices. Only a faint hum, low and steady, rising from the darkness. It vibrates like a heartbeat, but colder, older. The hum of the stones, a single light flickers. We see Claire's hand, shaking, reaching into the void. Jamie's hand reaches from the other side. They are inches apart, almost touching, but never close enough. The light snaps out. The hum grows louder, the stones roaring now, as if all of time is collapsing inward. Then boom. The screen bursts open with the title, Outlander Season 8. The letters burn into existence, carved in light and shadow, as if branded into history itself. A voice breaks through, steady and haunting. The end is only the beginning. The music doesn't return. Instead, there's only the sound of wind whistling through the stones low. Hollow, endless. The final frame. The stones at Crana Dun glowing against the storm, humming with unbearable power. The camera pushes closer, closer, until the hum becomes a deafening roar. Then dash silence, black screen. Asterisk, the screen is black. Silence stretches. Too long, then a faint sound. The scratch of a quill on parchment. Slow, careful. Someone is writing. The screen flickers to reveal a close-up. Piece of old parchment ink smearing beneath a hand. The words are blurred, but one line sharpens into focus before the ink bleeds across it. They are watching. The quill stops. The hand trembles. A drop of blood falls onto the page. The image jerks away, replaced by the glow of the stones. But this time, something is different. Between the cracks of the stone surface, faint blue light pulses unnatural, like electricity. A whisper leaks from the stones, not a voice from the past, but one that feels modern, distorted, mechanical. Time is breaking. The hum deepens, shaking the ground. The screen flashes once briefly, showing a modern city skyline in the distant sand. Then, cuts to black again. One final sound lingers. Not music. Not the storm. A single child's laugh, soft and echoing. Fading into the darkness. The screen holds empty black for a beat, then fades out completely.